What if Luke Skywalker had died on the terrible icy planet of Hoth? That's the question that today's Star Wars Infinity comic covers. Let's find the answer in the story that goes along with it. Hey guys, this is EckhartsLadder. Hello and welcome to what is sadly the very last episode of my Star Wars Infinities series. For those who have missed the prior two episodes, Star Wars Infinities was a comic book series that took the original trilogy movies and altered one slight detail, which would then go on to dramatically change how the story played out. I say that this is sadly the last episode because you guys have really enjoyed this series. The prior two videos have all been very successful, so thank you guys for watching, and as I said, I'm sad that this is the end. But I've got other stories on the horizon that I think you will find quite similar to Star Wars Infinities. So this Star Wars Infinities episode actually begins relatively early on into The Empire Strikes Back. Luke has just escaped the Wampa Cave and has collapsed on the cold surface of Hoth. Han Solo has left Echo Base to find him, but before he can, his Tauntan dies. The death of the Tauntan has two effects on Luke. One, it slows down Han's recovery of the very injured Jedi, and two, it means that he's got nowhere warm to stay for the night. And with that, Luke unfortunately does die, but not before passing on the message that Obi-Wan Kenobi told him to Han Solo. Han Solo misinterprets the message from Luke, believing that he means for Han Solo to go to Dagobah and be trained as a Jedi. And he says as much to Leia and the rest of the rebels as he's recovered with the body of Luke during the next day. As the Alliance is holding a funeral for the young Jedi, the Empire launches a surprise attack. Presumably, if the rebels weren't so preoccupied with the death of Luke Skywalker, they may have noticed this attack like they do in the movie, but as it stands, they are hit totally unprepared. The evacuation of Hoth is hardly successful. Wedge dies, as do many other rebel pilots, several transport ships are blown up, and Han Solo and Princess Leia only barely manage to escape. While escaping, Han is now convinced that he must go to Dagobah. However, like in the movie, the hyperdrive is not functional. However, instead of hiding in the asteroid field, Han realizes that he has to go directly to Cloud City so the ship can be repaired, and so they can go see Master Yoda. Funny enough, Han actually sticks the Millennium Falcon to the back of a Star Destroyer like he would do after escaping from the space worm in the movie, and it works in this comic just like it would later on, but he is still tracked by Boba Fett. Han and everyone else arrive at Cloud City fairly quickly, and they actually do beat most of the Empire there. However, they did not beat Boba Fett, who is strangely sitting in a room without a helmet on, waiting to interrogate Lando. Fett ends up threatening Lando, tells him to give over Han Solo, but Lando is not intimidated, and with the help of Cloud City Guard and Chewbacca, they manage to subdue the bounty hunter. Before being subdued, Boba Fett mentions that his employer wants Han Solo. Both Han and Lando assume that the employer that he's referring to is Jabba the Hutt, because Han still has a price on his head. However, after the Falcon is fixed and Han leaves Cloud City, the Empire appears, and it becomes clear that Boba Fett was actually working for Darth Vader and the Empire, not just Jabba the Hutt. In retaliation for freezing Boba Fett in carbonite and, funny enough, using him as a desk, along with letting Han Solo and the rest of the rebels escape, Darth Vader orders his ships to open fire on Cloud City. They completely destroy it, killing everyone including Lando. As the rebels now arrive on Dagobah, Princess Leia starts to sense weird things, some sort of knowingness around the planet, some sense of destiny. Still, Han believes that he is the Jedi to be trained. Nonetheless, Yoda appears, reveals to Princess Leia that she is a Skywalker, sister of Luke, and daughter of Darth Vader, and that she is the one to be trained. Han accepts this, tells her to do her training, and says he has to go leave and pay off Jabba the Hutt because that bounty on his head is following him everywhere. Off screen, Han spends some time earning the money necessary to pay off Jabba, returns to Tatooine, and is ready to pay him off, but he's betrayed by bounty hunters who have been newly hired by the Empire. While all of this is happening, Darth Vader is still searching for the rebels, believing that Luke Skywalker is with them. He denies that he died on Tatooine because he can still sense him in the Force. However, of course, he is not sensing Luke, but rather Leia. Back on Tatooine, Han has been handed over to Jabba himself. Jabba, like to Luke in Return of the Jedi, puts Han and Chewie in a cage where they're expected to fight an animal. Thankfully, with the help of R2-D2, they are able to escape, and the rebels run to try to secure a ship to get off planet. Unfortunately, C-3PO is not fast enough to escape with them and is left on Tatooine. Vader later appears expecting Han to still be there, but finds only C-3PO. This leads to an interesting conversation between the Lord of the Sith and the protocol droid, where Darth Vader basically tells him, "I made you, you must listen to me," and C-3PO says, "Well, I don't remember that, and I will not betray my current masters." This leads to Darth Vader channeling his young Anakin. He takes the droid's head off and finds that Yoda is training a Jedi on the planet of Dagobah. He departs immediately. On Dagobah, Leia is performing the last rites of her Jedi training. While she is doing this, Darth Vader arrives and confronts Yoda. Yoda performs a mind attack on Darth Vader. Much like the trial of the Dark Side cave, this causes him to fight several spirits, including those of Obi-Wan Kenobi, Mace Windu, and Qui-Gon Jinn. The spirits appear to inflict damage on Vader and they demask him. However, Vader is eventually able to overcome the mind attack and no physical harm has actually come to him. He strikes fatally at Yoda. However, before Yoda dies, he does reveal to Vader that Luke has actually been dead this whole time and that he did in fact perish on Hoth. Vader goes to strike a final blow against the Jedi Master, and Princess Leia jumps in, defending him with her lightsaber. Through Leia's surprising blows, she's actually able to cut off one of the arms of the Sith Lord, and the family connection between the two of them is revealed. Much like in The Empire Strikes Back, Vader offers Leia a place at his side in order to rule the galaxy in a better way than the Empire is doing now. She, of course, resists. As the fight's looking fairly bleak for Princess Leia, a shot rings from off screen and kills Darth Vader. It's Han Solo. He's returned to Endor in order to save the princess. Simple blaster fire has ended up killing Darth Vader, Lord of the Sith. In his final moments, Anakin Skywalker contemplates the fact that not only did he have a daughter at one point, but he still has one now. In his dying words, Yoda urges Leia to train more Jedi. She contemplates this, burns Vader's armor in a funeral pyre, just like Luke did in Return of the Jedi, and leaves the planet with Han. And that is the end of this Star Wars Infinities tale. This one probably has the broadest ending of any of them. We don't know whether the Rebel Alliance is going to succeed. Sure, Darth Vader has been killed, but the Alliance has lost Luke, they've lost 3PO, and of course, Palpatine is still at large, with most of the Empire's military. Also, the Rebel Alliance suffered an even worse loss at the Battle of Hoth, and now they also don't have General Calrissian to help them at the future, perhaps, Battle of Endor. All in all, a very dark tale, but we are left with the possibility of Leia continuing the Jedi Order and training more Jedi Knights, although she now does not even have the guidance of Master Yoda. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you let me know what you think of it down in the comment section. Also, Zach Hattrick, who's edited some of my previous videos, very graciously offered to help me with this because I'm going away and just frankly I don't have time to do all of my videos, and he ended up editing this whole thing for me. Make sure to check out his channel, there's a link down in the description. Anyways, thank you once again for watching guys. As always, this is your host EckhartsLadder. May the Force be with you.